Que se armen los pinches chingasos.
Okay, so here again in competition class no gi. This is Andy. Andy, young kid, really cool kid. I really like this kid except today because he totally beat me up. Well, everybody beat me up today. Everyone. I must have gotten tapped today probably 20 times. I think I may have mentioned that in the previous video, but here it is. And oh man, I couldn't really get under. I couldn't do anything. I couldn't really do any escape. And then he mounted, and then he locked my arm. He was actually trying to do one of those shoulder triangle. I think that's what it's called. But I kept fighting it, and he couldn't secure it. I know he tried doing that. He kept trying and kept trying and kept trying, but he couldn't really secure it. At the end, I escaped that. But oh man, something weird happened today. Yeah, I see. That's when I finally kind of got out of that, and he tried to put it back in again. But if you look at my defense there, I'm defending by putting my head on my my arm, my hand on my shoulder rather, and that's the difference for that. That I know. I'm sure there's something else that could be done, but that's kind of what I know. And so he kept trying, but I kept going. But then here is where he mounts, and then here, I was so tired, so beat up that he, oh yeah, there he moved me so that we could be safe. But there he was already mounted, and then he locked the legs, and then locked the arm too, I think. No, I don't think he liked the arm then yet. So I couldn't get out. I was trying to get out, but he was putting so much pressure on my stomach that I couldn't really breathe anymore. And I was already very tired from the first class. I hadn't really trained that much this last 4 weeks because of injury, because of family things and work things, and so tired and beat up. And then, all these kids are very strong and tall and technical and amazing. Then I was trying to get out there a little bit, but he secured it back, and then he locks it. Boom. Forget it. I couldn't breathe anymore. I had to tap. I just couldn't breathe anymore. Like, boom. I even landed on his space for him to be able to secure it a little bit better, and I had to tap. I couldn't breathe anymore. I was so tired, and he was putting so much pressure, I couldn't breathe. So we reset. Oh, what's going on here? Oh, that's a nice adjustment. I like that. Sorry, Andy. I had to do that, man. I had to add the replay, the instant replay for that. Anyway, he was trying to get him on a guillotine, but it just couldn't work. This kid is too smart. This kid's real smart. And so then he knew I was going to attempt that, and he just defended against that, and then ended up back on my side control. And then it happened again. He at the end, he gets to my to mount, and then forget it. I had to tap again because I couldn't breathe. It was just so tiring and so much pressure. And then he also locked the arm, I think. And here, even though he hasn't gotten yet to a mount, but he had his side control really tight too. Normally I could get out of side control and kind of like that where I sweep people, but it's just this guy was too strong and too technical, and I just couldn't do it. And here I was trying to remove his knee on belly, but I didn't catch it the way I intended for my defense, and he ended up back on mount. And then this is where he sets up that whole pressure again. I had to tap one more time. This is already like the 5th tap for this day in competition class. Today I did not tap anybody, and everybody tapped me multiple times at every single round. And here it is. We're fighting again for grips, if that's what it's called. He was trying to take my back, was trying to defend and trying to do the same, but he ended up passing me here. And he was attempting to set himself up to take my back, but I don't think he got there. I don't remember exactly. I like that move. He's trying to create space and trying to pass. I was worried about ending up again in a bottom mount because I didn't want to have to go through that lack of being able to breathe. And then he got back onto side control. But here I kept my elbow against his knee because the lower that his knee was towards my hip, the better I could breathe. And so I was intentionally framing against his knee. Because if he was a little bit higher, then I couldn't have breathed again. I was just tired and, destroyed, and he totally messed up. But nevertheless, can't take away Andy's strength and technicality. And I think he's getting ready for a tournament, I think in a week or two. I think next week, actually. A week from today or something like that. But here, sure enough, passed again. And I thought he was going to go for an armbar. But I was defending against what I expected to be an armbar. But so I don't know if he missed it or he couldn't get it and he tried to take my back. But the bell rang, so saved by the bell. Cool, perfect. See you next time, Andy.
I can't do this shit anymore. I gave it my all. I just didn't. I'm fucking old.